AAPI honestly was a blessing in disguise for me. It was like a space I didn't even know that I needed. I started to understand how important civic engagement was, and like really getting involved in policy making and making sure all of that change comes down to like the ground level. Being able to see people like myself with similar backgrounds really getting involved in spaces that traditionally aren't meant for us was so empowering and really made me feel like I could make a difference in something that I didn't think was an option before.
I think the biggest thing for me being a part of AAPI was like overcoming imposter syndrome. I felt like I didn't belong, that I somehow like luckily got in. It was like, I don't know how the interviewers like voted. I think they made a mistake. Didn't quickly resolve, but I think it was with the cohort that sort of trust and vulnerability that I developed was like, no, we belong here, and like that is part of the journey of finding your voice and finding your truth, which is something I found here in AAPI.
My first job out of college was as an aide at the State House, and I remember being so excited and telling my dad, and he was so worried about me, he almost started crying. And he said to me, "You'll never be one of them." And I think I understood, and I think I've always understood that that was his immigrant experience in this country. And I think changing that for our community, this feeling of not being seen and heard, is what drove me to start AAPI.
My name is Donby. I am one of the co-facilitators for this year's cohort. I have had the privilege, along with my co-facilitator Darlene, to lead this group of 5 fellows for the Asian American Women's Political Initiative. Obviously, our fellows this year have had some unprecedented challenges, and we've really come together throughout these past 6 months to really just build something that I think is really beautiful.
The Asian American Women's Political Initiative has been building the political leadership pipeline for Asian American women for over 12 years, and still the need is so great. 0.7% of state legislators are AAPI women. We would need 5 times as many AAPI women elected to have equal representation in government. So now more than ever, it's incredibly urgent that in this critical moment for our communities that Asian American women are seen, heard, and represented.
When I think of AAWPI, I think of powerful, badass women. Like, that is it. I am a daughter of Vietnamese refugees. My parents came from Vietnam, and I was born in the US. I was born and raised in Chelsea, Massachusetts. Like, AAWPI, at the center of everything, it's about love. Like, yes, pipeline to government, yes. Pipeline to being these powerful positions, but it's like, right, what does that mean to change how we feel about ourselves?
Please give your warm love and applause to Diana.
Being in the State House, during my time, I didn't see any Asian American women who were like senators or rep, but the fact that afterwards seeing the rise of Representative Tram Nguyen and then Representative Maria Robinson, like, it's just amazing to see how much has progressed, and to see now I can see someone that looks like me in the State House. What does it mean to be an Asian American woman in this field where we do not get supported, we don't get the mentorship that we need, and we feel like we're just stuck in these boxes, and AAWPI helps break that. We learned so much more about what does it mean for us to have power again. We're reclaiming that power, and I feel like AAWPI lets that space to be like, you were always powerful, let's remind you that you are.
Anna, for bringing me out to Boston. This is my first time in the city of Boston, so it is an incredible honor to be here, and also to hear from all the young women that are going to be running shit in Boston.
I learned to become very confident in where I come from, what my values are, my culture, and honestly making those differences my strength in the world of government and the world of politics is something I definitely wouldn't have learned without AAPI, and I'm still continuing to learn to this day.
Hi everyone, that seems like such a great crowd. It feels like coming home, really. I have been a part of this community for a long time, and it's so great to be among so many Asian American women.
Just knowing that we have so far to go still, and we need as much talent and as much like representation as possible in this space really is what keeps me going and keeps me involved in our community, and shows me that, you know what, like this is probably a fight that won't be over anytime soon. So I'm really glad we have this program and this community of people to continue it.